Welcome to another episode of MTG Steam Brewery.
Sharp, man. 3 a.m.
This is Josh, and we have a guest, the neighbor down the road, aka Free Man.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
No, man. Free man. No.
Free Man. Okay. Co-host Lackey number 2. We get it. Alright, we're bringing you a red, white, black mid-range control deck. It's kind of a fun deck that kind of fell off at the beginning of rotation, so we're trying to bring it back. Probably not going to happen, but hey, we're going to have fun with it. So we're going to go to our first win condition. We have Elspeth Sun's Champion. Kind of a just solid card for the non-aggro white decks. Great against control, good against mid-range decks, and good against green-red monsters, which may be a big deal very soon.
Yeah, it probably will be. That's one of my personal favorite decks.
Yeah. And then we have two opposite dots. Amazing against blue-white. You simply don't attack into Azurius Charms and Celestial Flares, and they will eventually die to this. And if you have whips or more opposite dots and it's safe to play them, then you just attack and play the other one. No problems. Mono black, they have Hero's Downfall. That's about it. And then against aggro and other mid-range decks, if you stabilize, he's going to win you the game eventually. Or he's going to hopefully help stabilize you. So that's why he's in there. We have one Blood Baron, kind of unbeatable from the mono black standpoint, short of Devour Flesh when you have no board.
You should probably fold if you're running mono black and he drops.
And you can't kill him immediately.
Yeah.
Against blue-white, they have to kind of Supreme Verdict to kill him, which we're fine with because we'll just attack for 4 until they're dead. And against aggro, he's just going to block, gain 4 life, block, gain 4 life. Really good there. And then we have Heliod, one of my personal favorites.
My least favorite god.
He's my favorite god.
On an empty board, other than Thassa and Erebos, he does have the most impact, which is why I've always liked him.
Works with you, Fairriver.
And being able to, against control decks, just being able to spit out 2-1s every turn is going to be good. Same with Mono Black, because you can keep a demon locked down and eventually start killing them. They can't, Mono Black has no way to kill Heliod, short of Devour Flesh on an empty board, which if he's alive in this deck, the board is not empty, so he's not going to die to
Very
Devour
unlikely.
Flesh. So that's why he's in there. He's another win condition. Great mana sink when the game goes late. And then we have two Alms Beasts.
Signed, by the way.
Foil signed Alms Beasts. One of my personal favorite cards.
Literally free man.
Which I still don't think you should run them.
He doesn't think I should run them. They're amazing against aggro. And in our deck, we don't really care about their life total because we'll kill them eventually. So we wanted a 4-mana 6/6 that wasn't Desecration Demon for this deck because there are some board states where Desecration Demon's just not going to cut it.
I feel like Desecration Demon would have been the better pick.
Whereas if Alms Beast comes down, they can't just tap it down to kill you. And against, like, Mono Black, you can tap down their demon and get in for 6 damage. Or, like, eat things that they jump with. Things like that. So he's a solid card in here that is more consistently able to block, which is why I run him. And then we have one Lifebane Zombie. Another way to look at control players' hands in the main deck. Just know what we play around. Against green-red monsters, we're hopefully going to strip something. And with the new set coming out, hopefully we'll strip a Xangos God of Revels, which would be probably the best feeling in the world. He also has Intimidate, so against a lot of decks he's going to be an effective clock. So that's why he's in there.
I still think you should run him in the sideboard, because that's what he was created to be, was a sideboard card.
Alms Beast? What are you talking about?
No, Lifebane Zombie.
No, he's mandateable.
No, I have to edit parts of that out. And alright, and now we're at the, we have 3 Sin Collectors for the control matchup.
And a super creepy one.
A super creepy pedophile one. That's why we ran taking that solely for the control matchup. Against aggro, hopefully we get like rip a burn spell out of their hand and just trade with something. That's why that's in there. Just, we wanted anti-control cards in our main deck, because control's a little bigger where we are. If it's not as big as where you are, you probably don't want to main deck your Sin Collectors. We also have 4 Soldier of the Pantheon. Great against blue-white as an early drop. They can't really kill it outside of Supreme Verdict. It's going to get in. Every time I've played it, it's gotten in for 8 to 10 damage. Just a single one.
Because they're annoying, and if you're playing blue-white like I do, you have a problem. Unless you Supreme Verdict, which is kind of sad if you're going to waste that on a soldier, but...
On a 2-1.
I guess you're going to have to if he's, hitting you for so much damage.
And then we have...
Or you just let them think they have you. They play like Blood Baron and opens it up, and then you're like, Quick and Supreme Verdict, got you.
It's also good against Mono Red as just an early creature that will trade with something. Maybe gain you life, they go like Burning Tree or Rakdos Cackle or something like that, but most times it's going to be one drop that's going to trade with something and save you a little life. Then we get to our non-creature spells. We have 2 Whip Veribos. We apply enough creatures that I was able to justify playing this. And against control deck, it's really good being able to buy back all our threats, like Blood Barons and Soldiers, so I can get in for unblockable damage. Or being able to whip back an Obstidot if they manage to kill it is probably going to continue to win games, especially against Mono Black. Being able to whip back Obstidot is probably going to kill them eventually.
Until they whip back a Grey Merchant.
For those of you who don't know, when you whip back Obstidot and you go to your end step and it's exiled with his ability, it meets the requirements of Whip of Erebros, which when it leaves the battlefield at the end of turn, exile it. Doesn't care how, doesn't go where. Obstidot exiles himself. Same thing with Etheling. You whip both of them back, they come back from their own abilities, they stay.
Which gets super annoying. Very
So
quickly.
like if you somehow kill Obstidot, they whip it back, they get to keep it at the end of the turn.
So if they whip him back, you better have some way to deal with him, or he will stick permanently.
So that's why that's in there. And we have 2 Underworld Connections, once again for the control matchup and the mid-range matchups, just being able to draw cards. Can hopefully allow you to win the game if you have no win conditions and just all removal. We also have 1 Spear of Heliod, make our Soldiers, Pantheon, Cinder Collectors, and Lifebane Zombies more effective threats, as well as being able to be active removal against like mid-range decks. And against control decks, there will be situations where if we have Blind Obedience out, being able to make it awkward to attack with an Aetherling by threatening to just kill it.
And I just wanted to say, if you're playing against this deck and there is a spear out, I saw a dude do this. He had a Desecration Demon while the spear was out, and he attacked with the Desecration Demon, which was quickly dead.
Yes.
So if you see that, you probably shouldn't do that. Just saying. But I'm sure you guys already knew that.
Yeah, we have 4 Blind Obedience for the
We have
really
viewers,
good for the
man.
aggro matchup, being able to gain life and like stop haste things from coming into play and have effectively not having haste.
Annoying.
Against control decks, the games will go very long, as this deck isn't fast and their deck is certainly not fast at all. So being able to just kind of ping them for points of damage as the game goes long is really nice. That's why that's in there. We have 1 Merciless Eviction. Our catch-all, there have been several situations, there's like 2 Detention Spheres on the table. Just exiling 2 Detention Spheres, getting back 2 threats is good. It will probably allow you to win the game very quickly. Against an aggro deck, if you've made it to turn 6, you're probably close to stabilizing. This will just allow you to completely stabilize, exiling all the creatures. Against Mono Black, being able to exile their bigger guys, or if you name enchantments, they have like an Erebos and Underworld Connections. Kind of great value there, so being able to stop them from out-card advantaging you.
Or whip.
It's really good.
Or their giant mass
I don't
pack
know.
rats
Or their pack rats.
that are
No-
going to come and kill you.
And then we have and then we have 4 Dreadbore. Kind of it's one of our more effective removal spells. It's just 2 mana, so it's great against the aggro decks. Being at 2 mana, we can just play it early. Against like the control decks, it's going to kill Planeswalkers, and it's unconditional 2 mana removal. So being at sorcery speed, we don't really care too much because we can kill anything with it. Then we have 2 Whirly
We should
Helix.
shop at this store.
Good at taking
We
out
should buy
Jaces
boxes
at
and,
instant speed because they're often going to come down and -2.
Legitimately $100.
Yeah, good at helping stabilize against the aggro decks because gaining 4 life and killing a dude is probably going to buy you at least a turn, which is normally all we need if we're playing this on turn 4. So that's why that's in there. And then we get into our last spell. We have 4 Heroes Downfall.
The better version of the amazing Dreadbore.
Just having another catch-all removal spell to continue on our chain removal spells is really good. It's not dead against control decks, which is a big deal. Which is another reason to play 4. And why most of our removal is going to kill Planeswalkers if we cast it, so it's not all just dead.
Noise is brought to you by Wacky Number 2.
And then we have...
I still say you need to play, Heroes Downfall over the Dreadbore. I understand why the Dreadbore are in there.
What do you mean? There's 4
But-
heroes down?
Right, yeah, I know, and you have the 4 Dreadbores as well, but I like Heroes Downfall a lot more. Sure, it costs 1 more mana, but it's double black instead of a red and a black, and
You
can
only say that
at
because you
instant
played
speed.
Mono Black, man.
Well, I think it's good. I think it's a lot better
We-
than Dreadbore, and I
We
would
told
play it
you-
over Dreadbore.
You just splash
And, okay,
in your Mono Black.
I'm going to continue with the deck. We have, obviously, our land base. Not too much... actually, no explaining need to go on there. It's our land base. And then we're going to go to our sideboard in just a second.